Hey guys, coming to you from my what I consider to be very cute workshop. This is gonna be before and after. I didn't realize I had before footage, but back in like January, this is May now. Back in like January or February, I had done a before video of what a disaster it was, and it wasn't cute, and I hadn't maximized space, and so it's just a quick 2-minute intro. I can try to put a timestamp for when the after begins, but I think it's worth to see the before of not maximizing space and what it's like now. If you can see, I have a new geometric border. There's a video up about that to see how I painted that. And I have specific videos about my small part storage that you see behind me, as well as my works in progress area. So the after tour is very long. It's 20 minutes, but I go through the detail. For me personally, I know I've searched YouTube and Pinterest a ton of times to try to find cute workshop inspiration, because craft rooms are always so cute and bright and airy and nice, and workshops are always just ugly and 2x4s and I don't know. I like things to be cute. So if you are like me and you like woodworking and you like your power tools, but you also like things to be pretty, hopefully this works for you. It might be a little bit of a niche, but maybe you've been looking for inspiration and you can't find it either. So stick around if you want to skip after this intro, about 2 minutes in for the after, but I think it's worth watching the before just to see what a workshop looks like before you really maximize space. Like you can see my lumber above me here. That was all in the corner before. There's just been a lot of additions, and it's taken about 3 or 4 months to get to this point, but I'm pretty proud of it. So stick around. So this is the workshop area. It's just kind of a mess right now. It's about an 18-foot space, and I think it's about 10 feet wide. So over here is just where I store some of my glass pieces. Honestly, everything on top just needs to be decluttered and taken care of. This table is what I was using for a recent painting project. Not sure if it's going to stay in here. This is bonus cleaning supplies from my cleaning closet, my paint station. This is supposed to be all staining and assembly, but this workbench has just gotten completely out of control. The pegboard was a great idea, but I didn't mark out the shapes of my tools, so I'm missing a lot of stuff that was originally on there, and I'm not even sure what it was, so everything needs to be put back and labeled. This is the cutting and sanding area with all my tools and paints up here, mostly for the miter saw, the router, and sanding. So I just need to really clean up and make this space a little more usable. The drawers below are still partially empty, so I have room in there. These are ongoing projects in scrap wood, some pieces that I've gotten to repaint or redo. And then all of this is lumber, and that can definitely be organized better by size so that I know what I have. These are all containers that I have available to organize this space, and I have more upstairs that I could use. This bench has bothered me since the beginning. It was free. It came out of my dad's office at work, and I love this curio cabinet that I made using all Dollar Tree pieces, but the drawers down here aren't being used. I store some cans of paint down there, but that's not being maximized, and really, as you can tell, this just becomes an absolute dumping ground. So I want this to be a stack of these tackle boxes labeled for all my hardware so I know what's in there. The drawer systems over here are actually pretty good. I know what's in them, and I keep up with that pretty well. Same thing with this drawer unit, but a lot needs to be streamlined, and I have these lovely polka dots from the craft room that it was in the house before I bought it, which I would like to repaint. So really, this is the starting point. So much can be maximized and so much could be changed. So we will see what I can do with this space. Okay, so this is an overview of what the general layout looks like. 2 workbenches. This one's painting and staining. That one's cutting and sanding. So basically I try to keep sawdust over there and paint mess over here. I can give you a full tour. It might take a while. This is small part storage. I'd gotten this at Lowe's for like $11. There's still plenty of room for more stuff up there. I installed these shelves, so the top is ongoing projects, and then one of my favorites is my duct tape shelf. I have a duct tape obsession. So this was just a 1x3, a 1x4, and a piece of trim. and I screwed this into this, and I screwed this into the wall, and I covered that with duct tape. This is where extension cords go on these Dollar Tree hooks. I think you get 4 or 5 for $1. This is where the ugly tape goes, regular duct tape and regular painter's tape. All my paint brushes and paint palettes, because I keep my acrylics right here. And I've probably mentioned this in other videos. This is the Alejandra TV organizer solution. These are 2 cake pans from the Dollar Tree with Dollar Tree marbles in between, so it's a $3 Lazy Susan. And I keep my teals and greens, and then my tans and pinks, and then my blacks and whites and neutrals. These are from IKEA. I absolutely love them. This is what I use for mixing paints. It's like a kid's plate set, and I think it's a couple dollars, and I use those all the time. Vaseline for, you put it after you wood burn, you put a strip of Vaseline, then you do the paint, then it wipes off much easier. It's also good for distressing. This is where I keep my drills, cordless and the one that plugs in. And then this bin is really important. This is the random crap bin. So if I just am picking up around the house and I find some stuff that belongs in the workshop but I don't quite have the time to put it away, I just throw it in there, and then every once in a while I clear the whole thing out, and that actually seems to work out pretty fine. Down here is, I do a lot of closet installs and jobs at people's houses. So this is my to-go tool bag, and I keep it in this crate. So I have a stud finder for closets, a cheap level, and an ugly hammer. I have 2 other hammers, but that's my ugly one. And then air compressor down on bottom, right next to where the extension cords are, so it's nice and easy to plug in. We're doing several painting projects, so paint is kind of all over right now, and like that laundry detergent belongs upstairs, and there's still plenty that I can pick up. But this was my dad's idea, to keep the shop vac right there, even though I usually, you can see his shop vac is here, and all the way on the other side of the room is the sawdust area. But this, having the extension cord plugged in right here, I just carry the shop vac over. So instead of running the cord from there over to here, it actually does work out well. It seemed counterintuitive, but it was good. And then this is I have a lot of ongoing project areas. These are things that need to be painted and stained and finished up. And this was just a file organizer. As you can see, I got it for $2.49 at a thrift store. So it's pretty good. Small parts organizing again, air compressor, nail gun, the ear protection, all of that's for the gun. And then the staple stuff is up here. This is all glue, Mod Podge. I keep my screws organized, labeled by size, so I know what's in them. And they're really easy to shake out. Then small paints and stains go here. I use Q-tips for my woodworking projects. So after you do the Vaseline, you rub it off with a Q-tip, and that works really well. Different pliers. This is all paint, so more paint brushes, paint rollers, sample paints. This is where I keep my little nails that I use for my necklace organizers, and these were from the Dollar Tree. I think you get 3 for $1, and I really like them. Up there, those are my favorite. That was from my old craft room. It doesn't get much use. The paint brushes get much use. The rest kind of doesn't, but it's so cute that I just keep it. And this was just using 8-inch pegboard hooks and then putting strips of plywood on it. So I just made my own shelves, which really added a lot of space to the pegboard. So I could even do a specific pegboard hack video about how I made all of that. But yeah. I wanted my workbenches to be cute, so I did paint them white and put floral duct tape on because I want my workshop to be pretty. But then the top, so I like pretty things, but I also like things that show that I work hard. So I'm totally fine. I wasn't going to paint the top. This is just MDF, and it's covered in paint and stain and all of that, and I'm perfectly happy with that. These were containers from the Container Store. You get 6 for $6, so they're $1 a piece. I just screwed them in, took a Dollar Tree shoelace and a pencil from Lowe's, and that way you can never lose the pencil because it can't go very far. Dollar Tree paper towel holder, IKEA. I've always loved the idea of that to not make a mess for stain, and then I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna make a mess, so maybe I'll just get rid of that. I did a short video about works in progress and a way to store them. This was, I'm not sure if it was meant, I think it was meant for paper, and I got it from my grandparents, and it holds my projects really well, so I really like that. This was another hack, so same thing over here. I keep my pen and pencil that can't run away in that cup, and again, that's just 1.5-inch screws into the 2x4, and it keeps everything nice. And then these are my favorite magnetic strips from Harbor Freight. They're only $4.99 and they're super strong. So I keep all my drill bits here, and the really tiny ones. The bigger ones and like specialty ones I keep on this strip. This is also Harbor Freight for $4.99, but again, in my old craft room, it was a really cutesy craft room. So I just covered it in fabric and hot glue, and I think it's super pretty. This is one of the spice racks that I make and sell, and I just painted it coral. It was a little not square and not level, so I was like, well, I might as well use it for tools. So there's still plenty of room to grow there, but that's just little bits and accessories. I try to keep my tape measures there. Like all woodworkers, I probably have 12 and I can never find the one I need, so I try to have them live there so that I can find them. And then the most basic hand tools, level, hammer, screwdrivers. I'm missing my Phillips, it's somewhere. And then since this is right next to the miter saw and the jigsaw and the sander, this is where I keep all my safety equipment. So earplugs, gloves that I keep on a hook from the Dollar Tree, and that goes on the pegboard. That's really easy. And goggles and all of that good stuff. Wood filler right next to the putty knife. So you want to store things right next to where they get used most. So, and then this one is another long, like 8-inch pegboard hook with a Dollar Tree caddy, and that holds all the stuff I need for my mouse sander. So yeah, that's nice and easy. If I need to really sort through it, I can take the whole thing out and look through, but generally everything I need is just in this front pocket, and I just grab it. Then for all my different sandpaper grits, this holds everything from I think 60 up to 400, so it's a file sorter. So if I'm doing finer things and hand sanding, then they're all in that file organizer, and I pull them out as needed. Spray paint all up here. This is kind of miscellaneous spackle. It's more like house projects. And then there's this ancient drill set. It's like a battery powered drill set. Like this is the battery you use from my granddad, and like there's this tiny like 3-inch circular saw, and it comes with all these different bits, electronic screwdriver, kind of a drill, but it's so weak. So my dad was obsessed with me having that, but I could definitely maximize the space. The only issue with this space is it gets so much sawdust that it's hard to keep a lot there. And then I still have this corner blank. I really do have a lot of room to grow. I won't waste too much time on this, but that crate is just scrap wood when you have a few pieces left over. These are more artsy, crafty, fine touches for the products that I make. And then more of my bigger tools are down here. So I do have a rotary tool, and then that's my router jig, and my hole saws. So again, I still have some room. The drawer that gets the most use are my rags for staining. Honestly, these should be on that side near where I stain, but it's never been a major issue for me to walk across the room and grab a rag. More rags. I got a ton from my mom's friend, cut up a ton of t-shirts for a t-shirt quilt, so I got all those, and t-shirt is the best for rags. Now this is the rarely used, I don't know what to do with it. They're different. This is where I keep all my caulking supplies, random pliers, hacksaw, things that I barely ever use but I need for house projects. So this is kind of the junk drawer of the room, and that's never been an issue for me. If it's something random, I know just to look in there and I'll find it. These are different products that I've bought at thrift stores to fix up. Those are half-started projects that need bases for trays or just cool wood that I had. I keep all my wrapping paper and contact paper over there. I use that for more of my crafty stuff. Dowel rods all go in this pipe, and I got this pipe at like a junkyard. But I just know whenever I need a dowel rod that I go over here for it. Back here is half of my lumber storage sorted out by thickness. So the really little stuff on the right, big stuff in the middle, and then really long trim pieces, really random pieces in the corner. That's the sign, Your Happy Home Solutions. That was my original farmer's market sign, but I didn't like it and I got a new one, so I might just use the foam core as a shelf or something. What I did with all my 2x4s and 1x3s that were super long and couldn't stand up is I just put these huge 18-inch brackets in the wall, and I put anchors in so it's nice and strong, and they just sit above the window. So then they take up no space. That wasn't being used anyway, and that was one of the best space savers that I used in here. Again, shelf really high up, containers for organizing around this area that get less use, and maybe I'll use them for something, or I can clear it off and use that for more woodworking stuff. Extra paints here. Steel wool, if you mix it with vinegar, you can distress wood. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that. More rags for staining. This is another Lazy Susan from the Dollar Tree. So 2 plastic tubs and marbles in between. This I want to do a whole video about. This is a 15 shoe organizer, then foam core, and then Dollar Tree bins. Someone's borrowing my respirator right now. But yeah, you just pull out what you need, and so I wanted an apothecary cabinet, and they're so expensive. These are random stickers, so instead of buying a really expensive apothecary cabinet, I just made one. So this probably cost, I got the shelf, which I think is like $20 or $30, but I got it for free from a client, and then I probably spent like, I don't know, $20 or $30 on all the pieces, but I think it's so cute. I just love looking at it. I did a video about my small parts organization. This is like my favorite part in the entire workshop, I think. So you can see here, everything is labeled, hooks and hangers. They all go in these. These were Christmas ornament storage boxes that were on clearance at the Container Store for like $4. So these are all the different anchors I use. These are decorative hooks. I have a drawer for regular hooks, but these are too big for that. So these are what I use on my woodworking projects. So this was 2 shoe organizers, which are $14. And then these are $3.99 at Menards. These were like $6 at Walmart. These I inherited, but were very inexpensive. So I really maximized the space there, and it's super, since everything's clear, it's very easy to see what I have. Down there's kind of a mess. That's house painting. I've lived in this house for a year and a half, but we keep doing more painting projects, so that's just kind of where it lives. It's out of the way, it's fine. And then those are parts for beer caddies that I make. I keep my bar clamps on the side of the workbench, and this is like plenty of workspace for random odds and ends crafts and projects. Oh, and I wanted to show on the side of this makeshift apothecary cabinet, I just put a nail in, and then I hang notebooks for writing down dimensions and cut lengths and all of that. So I have 2 notebooks there and then another one down there. So and then I plugged this in behind the curio cabinet so that it's always available. And I wanted to make sure it was 3-prong. So if I need to use the drill or the jigsaw or the circular saw over here, I just pull that out and it's good to go. Oh, and circular saw I ended up keeping in this drawer. This was a free desk that I got from my dad from his old work. And I really put it to work here. Really maximizing this space. I don't know if I'm going to go through every drawer, but I got these Sterilite drawers for free from my sister. These are just IKEA anchors that I really like, and you can't fit much more in this drawer anyway. These are ongoing projects. I want to make accessory hooks to sell. All of my paint tarps, and this is just a piece of paper that I paint on or in here for bigger projects that I lay on the floor. These are where I keep all my hooks. So they're sorted by black, white, silver, single, double, and then I guess, yeah, I'm not sure, more singles there. And then this is where I kept decorative hooks before I had that other container, but I still have room to grow. Blank projects that need to be wood burned and stained and all of that. This is one of my favorite drawers, and I never use this stuff because, okay, so bottle openers I put on the side of my beer caddies. I just bought those in bulk online, but these are really fun. This is like really old stuff that I found at junkyards and stuff that, I don't know, I just want to use for really unique. I just love old stuff. So I don't even know what to use that for, but I love it. And then this is all doorknobs, And I don't know if you've seen, but doorknob, like coat hangers and necklace hangers are really expensive because finding these really cool, authentic old doorknobs is hard. And I also need to figure out how I would attach them to a board, but I want to make a hanger out of those at some point. And then I have some casters that I think I inherited. Yeah, more casters. I have more drawer pulls. I have a whole bunch of drawer pulls over there. Just random. This is more like antique stuff that I really liked, so it's pretty random. This is less woodworking and more house management. I used to keep my drills up here, but I use them so often that I put them out in that open container. That's my electric screwdriver. Bungees. You always need more bungees. This one is just tool bags and bucket stuff, which tool belts never work for me. I don't know if it's because I'm a woman, I have smaller hips. I don't know. They're very uncomfortable, but I have tool belts. This is all outdoor / moving stuff, kind of miscellaneous. This is my gardening drawer, and the reason it's empty is that it's May now, so I've been doing all my gardening lately, so everything's out on the front porch because I have a community garden and I have an herb garden out front. And then this is more outdoor stuff, so gutters, grass seed, all of that stuff. The rest isn't woodworking. These are containers for, I want to make more entryway tables and nightstands, and I don't build drawers, I'm not that fancy. So these are just baskets and boxes that I bought at like Michael's to use as drawers in the products I make. I use a lot of glass bottles for my different products, and so I made a whole shelf up there. They used to take up a lot of space, so now they all fit on one shelf. And then glass bottles are also down here. These are what I use for my spice racks. I got these at a old junkyard that I loved, and they were like 15 cents a piece. And then I cut out chalkboard labels, so I put those on my spice racks. So these whole 2 bottom shelves are just those types of bottles and corks. But the rest of it is miscellaneous house. I'm a professional house cleaner, so I have a lot of cleaning supplies, and it's spreading more and more, and I need to come up with a solution for that, but the whole top shelf there is cleaning supplies. And then, yeah, it used to be, I did a video about my graphic border, or geometric border. It used to be pink and purple polka dots in here, which was just not my style. I did the gray stripe, but it bled so bad that I didn't like it. I'll fix that at some point. But yeah, the things that I like that make it nice and cute is the border all around, the bright teal. This was a scrap piece of wood. Most of my shelves are just scrap woods that I get at the Habitat Restore. So this was white, but it was like really dirty and messed up, so I just did a nice bright green. It's the same neon green that's in the geometric pattern. And then, so the border all around, and then yes, my floral is very much mixed pattern. The neon geometric does not match pink floral, but I loved it, so I did it anyway. Oh, and something cool that I use for my spice racks, I have very standard sizes, and these are cut very precisely, 8-inch, 12-inch, and 18-inch. So as I use the miter saw, I just line them up and chop them. So I think if you use something really often, you should just make a template so you can keep doing it. But yeah, one more overview. I said the small part organizing might be my favorite, and that's possible, but also the duct tape shelf. Oh, and I didn't show, I even used this old hand railing that we took off of my stairs because it was split. I put that in back so the electric and washi tape can sit in front of it. But I have all different types of tape there, and that storage is working way better than when I had them stacked on top of each other because it's easy to grab what you want. So one last look around. Projects, duct tape, nail gun, staining and painting, works in progress, hand tools, saws, sanding, spray paint up top, storage below, more ongoing projects. I know I'm not the only one who has a ton of them. Lumber stored above, lumber stored in the corner. Oh, and these are all my sheet goods. So I do a lot with hardboard and pegboard, and I got this cool paneling. They were $2 a piece for the 4x8 sheets because they all had some sort of damage. So I just had them cut them down to 2-foot pieces at Lowe's, and now I have like a year's supply of hardboard for, I think, $8, which is pretty amazing. And then my DIY cabinet that I absolutely love. Small port organizing that I absolutely love. And then they're not the cutest, but these drawers are extremely functional in this space. And I even have room to add another shelf up there if I end up needing it. So really what I'm realizing from this video is I feel like I'm running out of room, but the more I look around, I realize that there is actually room for growth. So that's my cutie workshop. It was a long one, but thanks for watching. Again, thanks so much for watching. I know it was a really long one, but I'm always looking for inspiration for cute and organized workshops, and I can't find it. So if you're like me, hopefully you found some inspiration. Please share, like, and subscribe because I really think this is a unique one, and I hope it helps people. Thanks for watching.